is his slave and messenger. We ask Allah to exalt his mention as well as that of his family and all his companions. The term mufakatha means to have foreplay with the wife between her thighs. It is reported in one narration that when the Prophet wanted to enjoy one of his wives who was in menstruation, he would put a piece of cloth on her vagina to cover it. This is from Sunan ibn Majah hadith. The author of Fayd al-Qadir interpreted the expression, if he wanted to enjoy, to mean having all permissible foreplay, but avoiding the vagina, or the anus, like in between her thighs, which is mufakatha. Allah knows best.
He said that this information is based on Ibn Majah hadith about Prophet Muhammad approaching his wife while she was having a period. We can find the Ibn Majah hadith from the Encyclopedia of Islam. This is hadith Sunan Ibn Majah, number 628. The left one is in Indonesian, and the right one is in Arabic. The translation of the Arabic version says, Aisha says, when one of us menstruated, the Prophet, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, ordered her to gird herself with a loincloth, then he had intercourse with her. This hadith explains that Prophet Muhammad used to have intercourse with Aisha whilst she was on her period, but not through vagina because that is haram during menstruation. Which means Prophet Muhammad did the mufakatha with Aisha's thighs. We can see the same message in Bukhari number 31245. This is the Arabic version. This is the English translation of the hadith. On the authority of Maymuna, she says that the Messenger of God, may God's prayers and peace be upon him, if he wanted to have sexual intercourse with one of his wives, she should wear a garment while she was menstruating. How could the Prophet had intercourse with his wife during menses? By doing the mufakatha. This is Fatwa number 777718, also about the mufakatha.
What's the ruling on thigh minors?
If the question refers to the thigh of a minor wife by her man, then this is permissible. But if the question refers to the thigh of a non-wife, then it's forbidden, whether it's the thigh of a minor or an adult, a male or a female.
Let's see the explanation from Ghada Jamshir about the practice of mufakatha in the Middle East countries. Ghada Jamshir was a Bahraini women's rights activist and an ardent campaigner for the reform of Sharia courts in Bahrain and the Arab Gulf states.
غادة جمشير سنية وبالتالي هي ترفع اللواء ضد زواج مقرر شرعا عند الشيعة.
مقرر شرعا؟
عند الشيعة مقرر شرعا.
الشريعة الإسلامية أقرت المتعة اللي بهذه التصنيفة اللي أنا بقولها لك. التمتع بالمفاخذة، عندهم التمتع بالملامسة، زين، التمتع بالمكاعبة، التمتع بالصغيرة. التمتع بالصغيرة تعرف شنو معناتها؟ معناتها يتمتعون بالطفل اللي عمرها 2 3 سنين 4 سنين.
عشان ما ندخل بس في
التمتع بالمفاخذة خل اشرح لك شنو هو. هذه ضد حقوق الطفل، هذه يعتبر اعتداء جنسي على الطفلة. يعني التمتع بالمفاخذة شنو ذي؟ التمتع بالرضيعة معناته ذي. زين، الرضيعة يعني كم عمرها؟ سنة ونص، أشهر. يعني هل يعقل رجل بالغ يمارس الجنس مع طفلة رضيعة وتقولون لي الشريعة الإسلامية أحلت هذه الأمور؟ خل المتعة، المسيار، شنو معنات المسيار؟ تقول أنا سنية.
According to Ghada Jamshir, there's several practices done by adult husbands to their young wives. Altamatua bil al-mufakaza, Altamatua bil al-mukaaba, Altamatua bil al-sajira, Altamatua bil al-radia. Can it be crazier than this, folks? And this is all related to Islam and what Muhammad did to Aisha. Ayatollah Khomeini, the founder of the Islamic Republic of Iran, wrote in his book Tahrir al-Wasila, Volume 2, page 216, about this practice with prepubescent children.
A man can carry out all the sexual pleasures he desires on his bride, even if she is just a baby. He is entitled to thigh her, that is placing his male member between her thighs, heavily kiss her, grope her body with full of lust, and so on.
Does this sound like a religious guidance or satanic perversion?
So, when Prophet Muhammad visited me every day, you know what he did to me.
If he could do something like that every single day to a little girl, he would not hesitate to go further and violate the child before she was a mature adult. This is exactly what Muhammad did to Aisha when she was yet a child of 9. Before she reached puberty, he began to have intercourse with her.
I used to play with the dolls in the presence of the Prophet, and my girlfriends also used to play with me. When Allah's apostle used to enter my dwelling place, they used to hide themselves. But the Prophet would call them to join and play with me.
According to Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani in his Hadith explanation, Fatah al-Bari, page 143, the playing with the dolls and similar images is forbidden, but it was allowed for Aisha at that time, as she was a little girl, not yet reached the age of puberty. Muslims usually argue that Muhammad just following his culture and tradition at his time, and that marrying a girl as young as 9 years old was an accepted norm of the Arab culture. If that is true, then Muhammad was a product of a sick society. If he was as a genuine prophet of God, he would have guided his people to abolish that sick tradition, instead of participated in it. Marrying children was not part of the culture of any nation. It is actually contrary to human nature. Healthy grown-up men only have parental feelings toward young children. The point is that Muhammad was not mentally healthy.